fail, tune in. It's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in. It's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Only able to regroup, then it's poked away by Burke, who takes over. Pushes it up ahead to McGregor. Holy Cross coming down with a 3-on-2. McGregor from the right side, centering feet. And oh my God! Yes! Oh, score! Tyler McGregor! Yes! Yes! Tyler off of the rebound, puts it past Kevin Briggs, and Holy Cross has knocked off the Minnesota Golden Gophers! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes! Oh my goodness! We're not going home yet, baby! Just 53 seconds into overtime, and the Holy Cross Crusaders are mobbing Tyler McGregor and Tony Quesada. It's the second chance. It's the second effort, and it goes in. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Yes, I do! Holy Cross has shocked the world right now. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Yes, I do! We're not going home yet, baby! Just...
Okay, calm down. Well, I believe in this program, and I think the program, at least what I believe, the program's in better shape than it was 2 years ago.
I'm always going to be on the high road. If you're looking for Denny Green, you want to find out what Denny Green is, whether I'm in California, New York, or wherever, look on the high road. That's where I'll be.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
Who am I?
He's the clown from Brown.
That's true.
He's the fourth in the North.
Not even close.
This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
I am the Common Man, Dan Cole, and this is the worst all-sports radio station in the country, so says a former employee who funny was fired from here. I'm a radio dinosaur. Someday, archaeologist. This is my La Brea Tar Pit. The fan, it is. I'm not working anywhere after this. How long I have left, I don't know. I know the end is near. Am I at the beginning of the end, the middle of the end, or the end of the end? And then let's say it's the beginning of the end. Is it the beginning of the beginning of the end, the middle of the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning of the end? And then how long do those various stages last? I might be done after the first break, or I could be here until they pry my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips off this. Can you hit the music? As a radio professional, you'd think I'd know what kind of microphone. I mean, we replaced the Neumann VCM 104. I think everyone's aware of that. It's a, hold on, electro voice. When they have to pry my cold, dead, rigor mortis laden lips off, the electro voice RE27, right? We got plenty to get to today. Tend to be. National Hockey League history was set last night. Minnesota Timberwolves is it time to panic? Tennessee likes to do a bit called patience or panic. I mean, this team is a terrible. They're 6-5, and this is a team that went to the Western Conference Finals last year. And we're so smart. We'll trade Bodega Cat, and we'll get Julius Erving, and we'll be just fine. And that hasn't worked out. He doesn't seem like he really cares about playing defense. Minnesota Vikings continue to roll on despite the struggles of Sammy Darnold taking care of the football. The Vikings still continue to win. They'll take on Tennessee this weekend. They do. Tennessee. That's a game you'll hear on this radio station. Coverage at 10. Kickoff. Be here for the kaboom at 12 noon. And a number of other topics that we need to get to as well. Let's spin the wheel of topics to decide where to start today.
Wheel of Topics!
Maybe we'll talk about the Electro Boys RE27 some more. I'd like to do that.
Commons Golf Game.
Oh, boy. Why did it have to land on this?
What did you shoot today?
83.
Where'd we play?
Oak Marsh, that's 13 over at Oak Marsh. It's a par
Where'd you hit
7.
it on? One?
Which ball? My first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
Second
think
shot?
I hit 3 off the tee. The first one to hit this wild hook left almost into a backyard. The next one, I blocked way right almost into the prairie grass. And then the third one, I did hit right up the gut.
Second shot?
But already the round's over, right?
No, you're donezo.
Well, I'm donezo because I'm line 6, right? No, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm line 5 in the fairway. I mean, I could have played. I could go to the first one and play it, but it's like. But I played. I cheated. I played my. I had 2 breakfast balls. I had a breakfast buffet, is what I had. And second shot, cut it way right. There's 2 pine trees like 130 yards out, and I'm kind of sort of behind them a little bit. And I cut a 7 pretty nice, but I just didn't take into account do you know how much distance you lose when it's 30 degrees outside? I mean, the ball doesn't go at all. So I'm way short. Hit a good pitch and I made the putt. So I'm thinking, hey, cool.
Incredible.
Made like an 8-footer, just curled in. Same thing, terrible drive on 2, block it right. It clears the marsh. Hit another shot. That goes right, but I'm right next to the green. Hit an okay pitch. Make another. This time I made like a 6-footer. Kind of just curls in. I'm thinking, here we go. And then I don't think I made another putt the rest of the day. And every chip I hit, how is it? Have you ever heard Tennessee where, have I ever told you what my old man told me about outhouse rats? They're really dumb. If you put a rat in a maze, if you put a rat in a maze with a piece of cheese at the end of the maze, and there's a little thin electrical wire that's like the width of a human hair, once that rat touches that human hair once and gets shocked, he'll never try to get that cheese again. Why would I keep on hitting every pitch short? Hit the ball, for crying out loud. I think my best golf might be behind me. I might be giving up the ambassadorship. Would you like it? It's a great.
I would love to have that.
It's a great gig if you can get it. So it was a struggle. I actually. I'm waiting for the season to come to an end, but I can't stop myself from playing. I'm addicted. It's sort of like hockey with Blue Chew. You just become addicted to something and you just can't stop yourself. So we'll do the best that we can. We have 2 giveaways today. We do have much to get. We're going to do a rock talk today. Brian Oak will join us at 1:30.
Yes!
I thought you were going to hit, oh boy.
Oh, boy.
At 1:30, we're going to talk about not 1 but 2 topics. The Grammy Award nominees are official now. And you sent me, I didn't even realize they were doing this, I guess on the same day or the day, one day apart, the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
I didn't even know there was a Songwriters Hall of Fame until today.
There's a Songwriters Hall of Fame. And they announced the nominees for, I don't know when they'll select them. I don't know when they'll give the awards, when they'll do the show. I don't know any of that. I just know they're going to end up doing that. So we'll talk about that with Brian Oak, and then the legendary Mark Rosen will join us, and we'll see if he can.
Oh boy!
We'll see if there's any other inside information that he can share with us. How about yesterday?
He'll share the information after the information is broken.
So I set him up I reeled him in perfectly. I just set the bait. I go, so did you know anything was going on with the Twins? He goes, Yeah, I kind of knew something was amiss. I knew something was percolating or something like that. I was like, no, you didn't. You had no idea. You don't even go over there. You don't talk to anybody over there. You don't go over there. But he has to be in the know. Yeah, I kind of figured it out. I mean, do you believe him? Do you think he knew? Or?
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
If you did, you would share it at some point.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of it. I just love it. It's so much fun. He's my very favorite person. in the entire time.
Especially because you prodded him further to, well, what information did you know? Well, I didn't really know a whole lot.
Right. It's just, I can't help myself, too. I'm a Richard, I admit it. It's just, I can't stop myself. History was set last night in the National Hockey League. The Winnipeg Jets are the first team in National Hockey League history to start the season 15-1. What's in the water up there in Winnipeg, Tenneby? What is it with that club?
Well, I mean, they have the name Win in their name. The word win.
I like that.
Yeah, they're Winnipeg. They're not Lose-a-Pig or Loss-a-Pig.
What if they were Loss-a-Pig?
They have been in the past.
Yeah, they have been.
All they do is win.
That reminds me of a comedy bit when by the way, we're giving away Flop, Sweat, and Tears tickets today. You're going to have your choice. We have 2 giveaways today. You can either get tickets for Flop, Sweat, and Tears, the After Dark show, Friday at Rockwoods, up in Otsego. I'm told by everybody it's Otsego.
Okay.
I guess it is.
Vindicated.
I thought it was Otsego. And we also have It's a Wild Wednesday on the Fan, sponsored by Jim Beam, the official bourbon of the Minnesota Wild. So we have a couple of Wild tickets to give away. Would you rather get tickets to see the Wild or the Winnipeg Jets? Guess we're just as good as the Jets. I think we're on a collision course.
We took them to overtime.
Yeah. Well, and our record
in our one game against them.
Well, when we talk about we're 10-2-2 and they're 15-1, that's those records. I mean, again, theirs is better. I get it, but it ain't that much better.
It's kind of crazy to be 10-2-3 and you're 7 points out of
it is.
First place in your division.
Well, that's why hockey still confuses me. I still don't know how they do that, but it's really not my bag, Dad, as the superstar Mike Morris.
It's not that complicated.
No, I know, but it's still too much for me to think about. If you don't care about something enough, you just don't even think about it, right? So I don't. So you're going to get your choice when we're going to give those away later. We have 2 giveaways today, and the caller's going to get their choice. They can see hilarious comedy with me, with Meat Sauce Common and Larry Mandela guy, or they can watch average hockey. Just another hockey game. I mean, what would you rather do, Tenneby?
No comment.
Right now, I think when we've given the choice, comedy tickets are like 0 for 26. I think everybody has always taken whatever else is available. It's been Wild tickets, Gophers tickets, Twins tickets, Vikings tickets.
Regardless of the tickets.
Wolves tickets. Regardless of whose tickets they are, they always take those instead of... Then you know what somebody said yesterday? I got cheap-shotted yesterday when someone said, well, I got my tickets for Flop, Sweat, and Tears when somebody broke out my window on the driver's side, put them on the dash. That's part of our marketing plan. Meat Sauce does it in the afternoons. I do it in the mornings. We'll take a break. Tenneby's got a keyword.
The Fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword bank at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is bank. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Fan.
Stick around following every noon Vikings game this season for Vikings Overtime, hosted by Meat Sauce, presented by Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. Catch them all right here on KFAN and on the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. He is 10B. Brian Oak at 1:30 with Rock Talk. Mark Rosen at 2 o'clock. Coach today, is that a possibility? It's
at 1:15.
1:15.
It's supposed to be at 1:15.
Yeah. And we'll do what we would never preempt Rock Talk. There are things that are more important than Vikings football, and that's Rock Talk. So if the coach starts a little late, we'll catch an answer or two, but then we'll break at 1:30, 1:35 or so. We'll milk it as far as we can, but then we have to do a Rock Talk thing. I would like to say that it's time now for Peek at the Purple in Peek at the Purple is brought to you by Affordable Electric. They've been doing electricity in the Twin Cities for over 30 years. Dependable, honest, 24-hour same-day service or same-day service. So either in 24 hours or same day. And they'll give you an upfront affordable estimate before starting any repair. Go online to schedule at affordable-electric.com. That's affordable-electric.com. And tend to be, as I like to say, affordable electric. Yeah, shockingly affordable. Power rankings have been released, tend to be. You know me, I love lists. I love power rankings. Couple of them here, including The Athletic. We're familiar with that. I explained it to you yesterday. They're owned by the New York Times now. They have the Vikings. They have the Chiefs and the Lions back-to-back. They still have the Chiefs undefeated at 9-0 with a remarkable win this past Sunday. It looked like Denver was about to hand them their first loss. That was almost a chip shot variety of a field goal, too, wasn't it? Was it inside 40 yards?
Yeah.
It's like
it was 35, 38, something like that.
And it was blocked, so good for the Chiefs. Lions are at number 2, Ravens at 3, Bills have the 4th slot, Eagles at 5, Pittsburgh at 6, Green Bay at 7, and then your soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings are 7-2.
Was the Packers on their bye week a better performance than the Vikings that win at Jacksonville?
I guess it must be. And what's our record against Green Bay this year?
We're 1-0.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe. They have something every week. They do. They have a little added extra nugget to think about. Like this week, it's they say the name of the team, what their record is, what they were ranked the previous week, what happened the past Sunday, and then they always have a nugget. This week tend to be its QB confidence rating, 1 to 10. 1 meaning you want to bench him, or actually maybe just cut him, or tell him, hey, the plane's leaving at 3 when it's really leaving at 2, so he misses the plane, right? Where do you think they have Kansas City's QB confidence rating, 1 to 10?
Depends on how much equity they're putting in his past performances, because I think if you include that, he's a 10, but if you just go off of this season, he's above average, but I don't know, I'd put him in the 10 category.
I put him in 10 because of what happened in the fourth quarter. He finds ways to win. They have a 10. And you're right. I mean, you could say he's not been the Mahomes, but what he does in the fourth quarter, come fourth quarter, bring it to Pat Mahomes. Kitty's at 2. What do you think the QB confidence rating is for Jared Goff, coming off not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 interceptions?
That would lower it a little bit, but I think overall he's had a good season. So
they have him at a 7.
Okay.
They do have him at a 7. They said this could be a 9. There's always a concern with Jared Goff that something bad is lurking around the next corner. And I do get that feeling. As well as he's played last year and this year for the Kitties, he's still Jared Goff, and sometimes he's off.
Well, if you would have done that QB confidence rating after his performance at US Bank Stadium, I think he would have been a 10 at that point.
Yeah, he could have been. Where do you think they got Lamar Jackson?
10.
9.
9 or 10, yeah.
Buffalo Bills confidence rating for their guy Josh Allen?
9.
8. I think they figure, well, we can't give everybody 10s and 9s. They give him an 8. Philadelphia Eagles, where do you think they have?
I'll go 8 with Jalen.
They got 8 at Jalen. You're absolutely right. Steelers. Is it Mr. Unlimited? Is it Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah, he's been starting.
What do you think they have confidence rating for Mr. Unlimited? They're 7-2, by the way. They just beat the Commanders.
Yeah.
Who are
at Washington.
At Washington. What do you think the confidence rating is for Mr. Unlimited?
I'm going to say 6.
They've got it at 4.
Oh, wow.
4 is also where you want to tell him when the plane's leaving and you give him the wrong time so he misses, right? You don't want him to show up for the next game. Green Bay, what do you think they have the confidence rating for J-Love?
How about I give him a 6?
He got a 6. And then your soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. What's the confidence rating?
Well, if Russell got a 4,
yeah,
I think Darnold's got to be in that range. I'm going to 3 or 4.
He's -2. No, I'm just kidding. He's at 5. Here's what it says. Sunday was the game that Sam Darnold skeptics have been waiting for. Darnold threw 3 ints and had a passer rating of 48.2 against a Jaguar defense that had been very generous to opponents all season.
Yeah.
Darnold is 21st in EPA per dropback, 0.01. Do you have any idea what that stat means? What is EPA? I thought that was the EPA was the Environmental Protection Agency.
PA is pass attempt.
Okay.
I don't know if it's efficiency per pass attempt or...
And that is, I would think 0.01 doesn't sound good, but I don't know. After the first month of the season, he was 11th.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Expected points added.
Okay. So Darnold is 21st in expected points added per dropback, 0.01. After the first month of the season, he was 11th, 0.09, but fading in the second half has been a hallmark of Darnold's career. Old Sam Darnold had an arm. Notice I said had. It's not has an arm. No! I'm sorry. Go ahead and give it to me. You know what? Sam's going to be okay. He's got to get his footwork together. Has to have his toes pointed in the right direction. It appears now more than ever that he's just keeping the job warm for J.J. McCarthy. Boy, they're really hard on him, aren't they? I mean, I'm not thrilled with the way Darnold's been playing, particularly in the second halves of football games, but I'm not ready to just... I mean, he's all we got. What are we supposed to do? He's our guy. Number 10 overall picked in the 2024 draft was J.J. McCarthy. So there you go. Jaden Daniels has a 7 on the confidence rating, rounding out the top 10. L.A. Chargers at 6-3. Herbert is at an 8 on his rating. So there you go. That's your peek at the purple. Brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. As we like to say, shockingly affordable. We'll take a break, come back. I do want to talk to Wolves, Tennessee. That was an embarrassing performance last night. I'm not ready to call for the coach's head yet, but we get another couple of games like that, it might be time to move on. Man, boy. We'll break. We'll come back with more here on the Common Man program.
MMA fans, it's time. Join Max Fuller this Saturday for a UFC 309 watch party at the Ballpark Twin Cities in Blaine. We'll be hanging out starting at 7 p.m. through the main card with tons of prizes, including a big screen TV up for grabs. Plus great drinks, scratch-made food, and batting cages all available. Get the full details now, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
So did you, was my phone on? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear that.
So this is it's a website, Tennessee, that's called Notify. Have you ever heard of Notify? You tell them where you're going to be, and that you want to play golf. And then you dial in, you send them a text saying the day you want to play. And they just texted me just now. Notify has found me a Thursday, December 26th tee time. I've already got one locked in for the 27th.
For December, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm on vacation, too.
Oh.
I'm going to warm weather climate, not playing here. I don't need to have Notify get me a tee time here. But they found one for me at the Nicholas Tournament course. What do you think that's going to cost at the Nicholas Tournament course for me, baby brother Peter, and Deuce?
That'll be an expensive round.
I don't think we'll be playing the Nicholas Tournament course. I just don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. Maybe because I am do you think when I tell them, well, they'll say, they'll go, that'll be $235 per player plus tax. And I go, I'm the official, unofficial ambassador to Minnesota Golf. What do you think of that? Do you think that'll fly in California at all, Tennessee, or will they just go, okay, that's great, but it'll be $235 plus tax? Do you think they'll recognize the ambassadorship in the state of California? I would say probably not.
I don't think it's going to cross state lines.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does, but I don't know if I'll be playing golf there or not. Couple of things for you, Tennessee. First of all, there's a number of ways to get a hold of us here at the Fan. 1-800-320-5326. That's our phone number. Don't bother. We don't answer it. Then there's our email address, booth@kfan.com. Don't bother. I never check it. It's in the mail. Then there's the Bradshaw and Bryant. No, that's our text line. We have the Talkback, KFAN Talkback, iHeartRadio app. Search for KFAN, find the station, tap the microphone icon, corner of the screen, 30 seconds or less to deliver us a voicemail. When is Kara coming in? Will she be
usually 1 o'clock? If she does come in, I don't know if she is going to.
So if she comes in today, we'll have her spin through some of those. If you'd like to leave us some, and we'll take a look at those. And then there's the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, or as we also like to call it, the Holla Hotline at 64686. This one says, Jaguar, the car, gets the British pronunciation, Jaguar. The animal gets the American pronunciation, Jaguar, since the football team's logo is not a car. Well, when did the 612 come in charge of pronunciations? I mean, why does he think he has the final say on it? It's Jaguar. Then other people say Jaguars. Diego says Jaguars. The official pronunciation of the car or the team on the Common Man program, the official pronunciation is Jaguar. And if you don't like it, I don't know what else.
That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Deal with it.
You're going to have to deal with it. Here's this one. There will always be Wild tickets, Vikings tickets, Twins tickets, but the comedy act Flop, Sweat, and Tears farewell tour, and this time we mean it, you'll never be able to watch Common Man do stand-up again. I would personally choose Flop, Sweat, and Tears tickets. Now, that makes sense, right? Because this is, it's the Over Tour, ... This time we mean it. That's what this tour is. You're not going to get a chance to see us again up at Rockwoods. It's just not going to happen. So your chance is this Friday night, 2 shows, dinner show and the After Dark show, give away tickets a little bit later. Then I received this text message. This is not from the KFAN text line. This is my personal text line. I got this from my firstborn, Deuce, who I created from my loins. And here's what he writes. Yo, Boomer, would you mind giving the podcast another shout out? No episode description for you to read because those are too long. If you could just say something about how we talked about our disdain for excessive phone usage along with our usual sports talk. Find it on iHeart or wherever you get your podcast, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't sound like, you want to try to make it sound a little bit more exciting, but I think he's being realistic. There's no need to go on some long, rambling dissertation. Just say excessive phone usage, sports talk, blah, blah, blah. Find it wherever you get your podcast. So, Deuce, please do that. And what is it? Studio?
I always forget whatever the area code is of Lincoln, I think.
I think it's Studio 313, I think is what it is. Now I feel bad that I don't know. I don't even know my own boys.
Have you ever listened to his podcast?
No, I haven't. Let me see if I can find it here. He sent it to me one time before. I don't know. I'll ask him later. So anyway, Minnesota Timberwolves last night. Tammy, let me ask you a question. I want you to rank these cups in your order of importance or preference. World Cup, Ryder Cup, Stanley Cup. Which one for you?
Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Then Ryder Cup.
Then World Cup.
Then World Cup.
Where would you put NBA Cup? See, I have NBA Cup at the very top. That in-season tournament, which isn't really even it's like they've played 6 games and they're suddenly doing a tournament. And we know why. Because there's so little interest in the NBA early in the season because teams are just kind of, even like, how long are we going to use this excuse in Minnesota? Well, we're just trying to get the new guys to gel. Remember, I brought that up after 2 or 3 games. I said, we just have to gel. They're still saying we have to gel. And now we're how many games into the season? 10, 12?
Were they 11?
11 games?
6 and 5.
How much longer are we going to go with the excuse? Well, we're just starting. We're trying to figure out how to gel together, trying to find out how to work. And it's nonsensical, and nobody believes it, do they? Maybe people in the basketball community believe that nonsense, but to me, it's utter nonsense. Timberwolves lose last night. Play-in game or whatever they call it, first round, a pool, whatever it is, pool play. And they took a bath in the pool, that's for sure. Timberwolves, this is Chris Hine, Fish Wrap Factory West Side headline. Timberwolves not panicking after losing 122-108 to Trailblazers for their second loss in a row. They lost on Sunday night. It was a bad loss to the Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat, a game which they sort of had won. The coach admitted he made it a couple of blundered decisions, and they did not play well in that game at all.
By the way, Spoelstra was on the other side in that game, and everyone in town was like, "What a genius Spoelstra is!"
Yeah.
Apparently, he made a mistake in last night's game.
He called it. He pulled a Chris Webber. He called a timeout that he didn't have.
Yeah.
He was so annoyed with his team that he stormed out into the court and signaled for a timeout, and the guy said, "You ain't got none left. You ain't got none left. So I guess you're going to get a technical foul," and that basically cost them the game, I guess. 4 days after leading wire to wire against the Trailblazers, the Wolves fell behind in the first quarter, never recovered in their first back-to-back games at Portland. They're going to play Portland 3 times in 4 games. What are the schedule makers doing? How does that even happen? But the Timberwolves apparently aren't panicking and aren't worried about it. And I'm not even suggesting they should panic, but they're just kind of letting this game roll off their back. Anthony Edwards said, quote, "We can't get down on ourselves after 2 games." And then it has 2 ... games. I've learned one thing. I saw a video clip of Ant from the 10th, and I want to get to that because I don't know if that was right after the Miami game. He probably could have used it for this game, but he says he throws around a lot of expletives that I didn't realize because I haven't watched many of his post-game interviews that are done next to the locker. But he would make a sailor blush. We can't get down on ourselves after 2 games. I mean, we can win 10 in a row. Okay. We need to lock in on that than being more worried about the stuff that just happened. I mean, it's over. We can't go back and change it. Naz Reid said, I mean, we're in game 11, so it's still kind of early. Still early. If this continues, they'll say it after 20 games, after 30 games. Oh, it's early. It's no big deal. This is the West, not the East. You can't afford to be losing games to the Portland Trailblazers. Remember the Wolves 2 years ago, I think it was? They lost a number of games to really bad teams, and it cost them a slot in the seedings. You can't do that. You can't. You got to beat teams like that. I'm not suggesting they panic, but the Raptors, no big deal. It's early. You're 6-5. Defensively, you're awful, as Ant admits to, and I'll get to that in a couple of seconds here. No, it says, I mean, we're in game 11, so it's still kind of early. By this point, you want to have some thoughts on what your identity is, but it's still kind of early. The West is open with injuries and stuff like that. I think it'll come. We've got a long way to where we want to be, but I think it'll come for sure. I just don't know why it takes so long for it to come. And he's probably right. They'll probably get it. They'll turn this thing around right now. We'll play a couple of montages for them. Maybe we should do that for them. When do they play again? Do they play Portland again tonight? Maybe we should put a montage together.
Do you want an AI-generated montage?
Maybe we should do an AI-generated montage with right now. Let's turn this thing around. Maybe we can inspire the lads over at 600 First Avenue. It says their defense provided open shots for a Portland team that might have folded if the Wolves jumped on them early. Instead, the Wolves' inconsistent starting lineup let Portland get ahead early and get confidence. Grant led the Blazers with 21. Williams caused problems on both ends of the floor with 19 and 9 rebounds. This should have been close to a repeat of Friday's easy win at Target. The Wolves were so unfocused, they had multiple turnovers just inbounding the ball. How do you turn the ball over inbounding the ball?
Should be the easiest.
This is an NBA basketball team. Finch says, I thought the turnovers tonight were carelessness, not anything to do with connectivity, meaning they weren't all on the, meaning they were still on the same page. Tim, did you know Portland had lost their previous game by 45 points? Was that to Dallas? They lost by 45 points. And they beat the Wolves last night. So much for winning the NBA Cup. The cup that means more to me than anything. My order is NBA Cup, World Cup, Stanley Cup and then Ryder Cup. You would think as the ambassador, the Ryder Cup would mean more to me, but it's not. It's fourth on my list of cups. On the
What about Cooper Cup?
I like Koopy Cup, and I also like Nuka and Pulusi Bagumba, the other wide receiver for the LA Rams. So I stumbled across this. Tend to be, they found another golf. They found another round of golf for me at the Pete Dye Mountain Course. What do you think that's going to cost? I need some muni. Can't they find me do they even have munis in California? So, this is so good. Hold on. I got to click to several different stories. All right, here it is. Anthony Edwards gives brutally honest assessment to the Timberwolves defense. Here's what he says. Now, again, I can't play the audio on the air because you'd have to bleep out about every other word. But here's what he says. We're terrible. We're terrible until we get down. When we get down, that's when everybody wants to play defense. But if we play from the beginning, we'll be the bleeping best team because we got the guys, myself, Jaden, Rudy, Dante, Nikhil, Julius, like all these bleeps can guard. We just got to do it from the jump, from the beginning of the game. I don't know if we're tight or cold or what it is because I have no excuse. I don't know why I don't play defense early in the game. I don't know why I don't play defense early in the game. I'm a part of it too. We all just got to do better early. As soon as the jump ball, we fix it to lock you all down. Once we get there, we'll win some games. We talked about this yesterday. I think we talked about it last week. If you know what to do, why don't you do it? Does this, tell me, I don't think there's anything that really bothers you, and it really doesn't bother as much as I'm making it seem, but I got to get to the top of the hour break for 534. I don't know if we're tight or cold or what it is because I have no excuse. I don't know why I don't play defense early in the game. You can't figure out what the team does. The team starts to play defense after they get down. Can you answer the question? Do you even? I mean, I know you probably don't have the answer, but can you even surmise? Do you even have a guess as to why they don't play defense when the game starts? So the tip goes off and the other team gets the ball and comes down the court and they just go, just don't feel like playing defense right now. And they get 2-0. And then you go down the court and you might score it down. And it's 4-2. Nah, still don't feel like playing defense. No, I'm just going to let them go. Go ahead, take it to the bucket. You want to shoot a 3? Go ahead. I'm not even going to put a hand in your face. Then all of a sudden you get down and you go, well, maybe we ought to start playing defense now. Why didn't somebody ask him in that? And maybe they did in the media scrum. Why don't they go, well, why don't you play defense at the very beginning then? Why don't you play defense at the beginning of the game? But can you explain it? But he doesn't explain it, other than he says, well, we might be tight or we might be cold. How can you be cold? Don't you go through warm-ups? Then they have the big announcement at the beginning of the game. These are your Minnesota Timberwolves! And they have the fireworks go off, and they have they play that. Do all stadiums still play the serious Chicago Bulls intro that they used back in Jordan's day from Alan Parsons' project?
Yeah.
Eye in the Sky. It's Sirius / Eye in the Sky. They still play that? Doesn't that pump you guys up?
You would think.
Aren't you ready to play?
Well, because defense is just an effort thing.
Well, that's what I thought it was, but apparently it's not. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And these games tend to be, you know what? You can use this anytime you want. Games in November mean just as much as they do in April. They do. Brilliant. They really do.
They do. In the standings.
In the standings, you have to win these games. And so it befuddles me that I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't play defense early in the game. I know he's living rent-free in my head, and I love him. I want to push him more. I think we haven't seen the best of Ant yet.
When you're getting the Michael Jordan comparisons, Michael Jordan played defense.
He did
every
play
night.
defense. He played every night. That's exactly right. He didn't have to wait till the other team got ahead. He just played defense, and that's what you and I have talked about that. I mean, probably the reason when I would play pickup basketball, the reason I liked playing defense because I was so bad offensively. I still don't have the proper technique for a jump shot. I'm terrible at basketball. I'm the first to admit it. When you're 5'8", it's hard to be good at basketball unless you're Muggsy Bogues. Who was the other really short guy that everybody mentions when they always tell young guys, sawed off runts like me. Oh no, it can be done. Because look at Muggsy Bogues. Who's the other guy? There's another really short guy that played in the NBA. It was Muggsy Bogues. Do you know who it is?
Spud Webb.
Spud Webb. They'll always look at us, sawed off runts like me. And say, oh no, you go. Well, I'm too short to play basketball. No, you're not. Look at Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues. Well, the reason you know the name Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues because it doesn't happen very often. It's rare. That's why those names. Now, if you're really tall, they don't go, no, you can play basketball, and then they rattle. I mean, they would rattle off, hundreds of names of tall guys. Because tall guys can play basketball because that's just the way the game is made. Yeah, occasionally little sawed-off runs can play, but generally it just doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. So we'll see. We'll see if we can. I'm still hopeful that we can. And do you know why I like this NBA in-season tournament to be? One reason and one reason only. Because it's the Cup. Because it's the Cup.
By the way, I have an AI-generated song. You wanted a montage song for the Wolves and turn the season? So basically I just said, hey, I want a Minnesota Timberwolves song to turn the season around right now. Here's what they came up with. AI-generated.
Dark clouds been hanging low, lost in the ice and snow. But fire ignites the soul, time to claw out of this hole. Whispers of a lost pride from the lakes where they used to hide. Rise up from where we fell, hear the echo of the wolves yell. Timberwolves howl in the night under the cold, but pale moonlight. Fight the fight from the darkness into the light.
On top of Goosebumps? On top of Goosebumps? This is really good.
His heartbeat pounding loud. No more shadows, no more doubts. Stand together, not alone. Warriors on the hardwood grown. Feel the hunger pure and raw. Got united iron claw. Sweat and blood, tears and cries. Time to rise, no more lies. Timberwolves howl in the night under the cold. Pale moonlight.
Pale Moonlight. This is good.
Turn it around, fight the fight from the darkness.
I don't know if it's Grammy Award winning, but it's really good. And this is just generated by...
AI-generated song.
How many verses does it have?
That's the last verse, so I think the rest is just going to be instrumental the rest of the way out. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're just kind of repeating it. I wonder if it would just keep going and going and going, or if it would eventually come to an end. But even AI guy will go, hey, we've done enough. So what more do you want from us? I kind of like it. Can you save this?
I think I can. We shall see.
We don't have to pay any money for this.
No.
This is really good. It sort of sounds like a mixture of Rocket Club, the Chris Hockey Band, and the Flaming Armadillos. Sounds a little like those three. I like it a lot. It almost sounds like the guy who does Nelly. Ooh,
that's Nelly.
Nelly.
Yeah, Heart of a Champion.
This sounds like Nelly. A little bit to me.
The name of that song is Howlin' Wolves of Minnesota.
Howlin' Wolves of Minnesota.
And the style of music is electric rock gritty.
Yeah, I would call it electric. Oh, you know what else I saw real quick
way to
before
go
we go to break? I saw it on TV. Joe Bonamassa coming to the Twin Cities. When are we going to get the commercial? Joe Bonamassa. It's going to be coming. I can't wait. I'm just waiting for the Joe Bonamassa tour to make a media buy with iHeart so we can go, Joe Bonamassa. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I'm pumped up about the Wolves, and I take everything back that I said. We're coming. We're coming. 534-10 to beat. What's up?
Yeah, speaking of the Timberwolves, would you pay $7 to watch them?